27 missed calls. 14 voicemails, 53 texts. At 3:17 a.m., my phone lit up like an emergency flavor, part 1. Every call from my family. My stomach dropped before I even unlocked it. 27 missed calls will do something to you, even before you know what they mean. I'd been asleep for 4 hours when my phone lit up the first time. I silenced it, rolled over a family group chat notification, a single call from my mother, normal. I told myself, in the half-conscious way of someone who does not want to be awake at 1 a.m. and is willing to rationalize. By 3:17 a.m., when I finally sat up and looked at the screen properly, the number had compounded into something that could not be rationalized. 27 missed calls, 14 voicemails. My mother, my father, my Aunt Rita. My mother again. A number I didn't recognize with an Italian country code that had called 4 times in sequence. I pressed play on the first voicemail before I was fully conscious. My mother's voice, pure, ugly sobbing, not the performed cry. The actual one, the kind that makes the voice unsteady at the consonants. Vivian, please call us. They're going to put her in a cell. Please call us back. I was in Boston. My family was at my sister Olivia's wedding in Lake Como. I hadn't gone. I need to tell you why I hadn't gone, because you are going to want to judge me for it, and you are entitled to that. And I want to give you the accurate version before you do. My sister Olivia is 29. She is the kind of person who makes rooms better by being in them, warm, generous, the specific light that some people carry naturally, the kind you find yourself standing near without quite realizing you've moved. I love my sister. This story is not about not loving her. Matteo Rossi came into her life 11 months before the wedding. Fast, by any standard. Faster, by the standard of someone who has watched enough financial disasters to have developed a specific alertness to pace. And I have watched enough, because I have spent 14 years in financial compliance work, first at a regional bank, and then as a senior analyst at a firm that specializes in fraud detection. This is relevant. Keep it in mind. Matteo was 37, Italian, based in Milan, working in something he described as luxury property consulting, with the deliberate vagueness of a man who has learned that vagueness reads as sophistication to the right audience. He had the particular quality of someone who makes people comfortable immediately, not aggressively charming, nothing that triggers the alarm, just warm and attentive and exactly present enough. My parents loved him on first meeting. I was slower. The engagement came after 6 months. I said the things you say, congratulations. I'm happy for you. And meant them. And also sat with the pace, 6 months, Lake Como wedding. The venue alone was going to cost what I know my family does not casually have. Matteo is handling it, Olivia said when I asked carefully about finances. Matteo is handling it is a sentence that means different things depending on what you know about the person it refers to. I filed it away at month 8. Olivia called me excited about the venue confirmation at month 9. She sent photos of the dress at month 10. The RSVP went out, and the invitation to me had Matteo's name spelled in a flourished font over the Lake Como villa address, like the name of a place he owned. I declined. I told Olivia I had a work conflict, I couldn't move. This was partially true. The fuller truth was that I had been watching this unfold for 10 months with the specific unease of someone who recognizes a pattern and cannot yet prove it, and is not willing to walk into the middle of it. My parents called me cold. My father specifically said I was jealous. Maybe I've thought about it. What I know is that on September 14th, while my family was at a villa on Lake Como watching my sister become Mrs. Matteo Rossi, I was in my Boston apartment doing laundry and second-guessing myself in the specific way you second-guess yourself when you can see a thing clearly but cannot prove it and might be wrong. I was not wrong, but I didn't know that yet. The first voicemail was my mother crying. The second was my father, clipped and fast, Vivian, call immediately. Serious situation. The third, my Aunt Rita, who almost never calls me, speaking in the lowered voice she uses for emergencies, your parents need you. Please call. The fourth, fifth, and sixth were variations on the first 3. The 7th was different. My mother again, but steadied now, the voice of someone who has moved through the initial panic into a mode of specific requests, which is actually more alarming because it means the situation has become concrete. Vivian, there was an incident at the villa. There's damage. They want 25,000 euros, or they are going to detain Olivia. Your father has the details. Please call us. 25,000 euros. I was sitting on the edge of my bed in the dark, and I pressed pause and sat with that number. I called my father. He answered on the first ring. Behind him, noise, overlapping voices, the specific acoustic chaos of a public space. A man's voice in Italian that had the cadence of authority. The villa, my father said before I could speak. There was an incident, damage. They want 25,000 euros, or they're going to detain Olivia until it's resolved. What kind of damage? I said. A pause. It doesn't matter right now. We need you to wire the money. You're the only one with. What kind of damage, Dad? Longer pause. There were some contractual issues with the venue, payments that weren't made. There's a dispute. Something sharpened inside me, not panic, alertness, the specific mental state I've spent 14 years developing, the one that activates when a detail doesn't fit. Where's Matteo? I said. Silence, not the silence of someone thinking, the silence of someone who has been waiting for this question and has been hoping it would come later. He left, my mother's voice behind him, left the party. No, my father's voice, flat and quick. Left. Gone. I processed the word. His phone is dead, my mother said. We can't reach him. The cash gift envelopes, I said. Not a question. Another silence. Olivia's jewelry case, I said. The silence confirmed it. Send the 25,000, my father said, and his voice had shifted into the register I know well, the one that is smooth with urgency, that has always been able to create motion in me when I wasn't paying attention. We'll pay you back. Put the officer on the phone, I said. Protests, shuffling. My mother saying my name in the tone she uses when she thinks I'm being difficult. Then a different voice, male, measured, careful English with the specific precision of someone conducting professional communication in a second language. Miss Hartley, my name is Sergeant David Conti, Carabinier Station, Lake Como District. I understand there is a dispute regarding your family's arrangement with the villa. Sergeant Conti, I said. Is my sister being arrested? There is the possibility of temporary detention pending investigation of a contractual dispute. What is the charge? A pause. Fraud, he said. I felt my mind go very quiet. Sergeant Conti, I said, whose name is on the rental contract for the villa. The sound of paper. A pause longer than the others. Then he said, my name, first name, last name, correct spelling. Mine. I ended the call. I opened my banking app. Normal, everything I expected. Then I opened my credit monitoring service. I use Experian, have for years, the professional habit of someone who has spent a career watching what happens when people don't watch their own numbers. There it was, a new European credit line, $18,000, opened 3 weeks ago through a lending platform I had never used, linked to my social security number, my US address, and a verification email that had apparently been sent to an address I did not recognize.